Okay. Alright. What's up, guys? Hope you guys can see the screen clearly. I'm not even sure if this is focusing. Let me go check real quick. What's good, YouTube? Today I'm gonna be going over my Dragon deck that I play. Yes, I only have one deck. You heard that correctly. Back then, believe it or not. Okay, let me tell you some origin story. Let's go over this deck, Dragon. Okay, should you play this deck? Yes, if you like dragons. And also, it's a pretty cool deck. But this is my playstyle, so don't base off of all of this off of one video. Alright, so let me go ahead and sort all these cards out by type. I'll try my best to explain more about it as I go. This time, I'm actually gonna put the prices on the screen. As of today, prices can change at any time, so keep that in mind as well. It'll be like 1 second for you guys. Should you play this deck? Yes, I think you should, but you should think twice before doing it, because this deck, if you do go crazy, it does cost a lot of money. But there's also if you guys do manage to get the structure deck for this guy, I mean, everything's in there. You can just like start off with the structure deck from this one, and then just build your way. And you know, just this is my playstyle, so you guys playstyle might be different than mine. But this game, let's say mostly 99%, when I go to my locals and I play, I most likely win 90% of my games. So that's a very high win rate. This week I go, next week maybe I go and I win all of them, lose only one. But this deck is built to take on 3 people. So yeah, it's super strong. But the thing is, obviously, if you play, what is it, like 2-turn win, 3-turn win, yeah, it's not gonna work for me. This deck is pretty slow. It takes time, but when it is online, it can just end the game. Like, it snowballs out of control, and people are just gonna start like focusing you and stuff. That's why I built it around, because a lot of the people that I play with, they see that I'm playing this deck, and the first game, they know what they're up against. The second game, they take out a different deck, and then they start to, you know, keep an eye on me more. So that's why this deck can get pretty complicated at times. But anyways, so Assassin Trophy. So this one, just destroy target permanent. Let's say one of my dragons on the field, they put like a card that makes it like trapped or something. I can just do it on that card, and this thing becomes free. It's just a destroy target permanent, so it's very good. You can use it in a variety of ways, but it's overall a really good card. Cyclonic Rift, you know, if you think the board's getting crazy, just pay 7 mana, overload it, return everything on the field except your cards to the opponent's hand, and then they're in trouble. This card, oh my god, Deflecting Palm. I was debating to take this in and out, like because this deck's been going through a lot of changes, but this thing has won me a lot of games, and it's so funny because they never thought that I would put this in this deck, but I do and use it. And they hit this one guy. He was like 1v1 me. It was like a 4-player, and then he 1v1 me, and it was down to like very end game. I had my creature, he had his creature. My creature is just like a small dragon. He had like a really big monster. He swing at me. I decided not to block, and I just played this. And I made sure when I played this, before I played this, he had all his lands tapped, and he was tapped out. Like, he couldn't respond to anything. If I play this, he couldn't even counter it. So I made sure that it was good, and I just used this. And then people's reaction was so funny. It was like, oh my god, everyone's freaking out, no way, all this crazy stuff. Vampiric Tutor, lose 2 life, search the library for any card, put on top. Very good, very good, because late game it can get crazy. I usually use this, the Vampiric Tutor, to look for this card, the Fair Protection, to protect myself in case board wipe happen or something. But yeah, I can also use this to protect my creatures too. It's let's say if they're doing a board wipe, everything's gonna die, I just do this. Everything, there's nothing on the field left, and then when it's my turn, I just KO people, and that's it. Mana drain. You know, if they play like a really expensive card, like a 10 mana, I pay 2 blue, and then I get 10 mana, that card gets countered, I get 10 mana next turn, and I can use it for whatever I want. Fire Emancipation. I'll just go over these really quick. Let's say my dragon does 6 damage. This thing, when I play on the field, and I attack with my dragon, instead of 6 damage, it does triple. So it does 18 damage. My dragons, they have double strike. So that's even more crazier. But this thing by itself, it doesn't mean only creatures. If I have like a fireball or something, it does triple damage too. So that's why it's so OP. Asceticism, you know, creatures I control cannot be targeted by spells or abilities. People are gonna start sniping you, targeting your creatures when they see that it's getting out of control. I have Defense of the Heart, Sylvan Library, you know, beginning my draw, I draw 2 more, and then I lose 4 life for each of the card I put in my hand. It's very good for you to go through your deck really fast to get everything you need right away. Ristic Study, whenever they play, they have to pay 1. Otherwise, you draw. Marari's Wake, creatures get +1/+1. Whenever I tap for land for mana, I tap a mountain for 1. Now it taps for 2. Crucible Fire, you know, everything gets +3/+3. That's a dragon, you know, self-explanatory. Sneak Attack, oh my god, this what I do with this one? I'm assuming you guys never play Ur Dragon, so that's why I'm gonna explain it to you. But with Sneak Attack, I pay 1 red. I put a creature from my hand to the battlefield. It gets haste, meaning it can attack it right away. I don't have to wait. Right in my turn, I have to sacrifice it. But I use this, and I put down this card. This card, it says it has flying. When this deals damage to an opponent, I roll a dice 20 sided, and whatever result I have, I draw that many cards until the game is over. I have no maximum hand size. If you play Magic, your hand size is a maximum of 7 cards. If you have more than 7 cards, you have to discard your hand until you have 7 cards. But this ignores that rule. Basic infinite hand size, no max hand size, whatever, infinite. So this one is also the same as this one with the dice roll. Whatever number I get, I spawn that many 1/1 blue dragons. I roll a dice. Whatever results, I get treasure tokens. Treasure tokens tap for any color. I rarely use this one, but it's cool, I guess. This thing attacks, roll d20, put any number of target creatures with total mana value of X or less from any graveyard. So I can just like revive this stuff. Anyways, Omniscience, play everything for free. Spells cost no mana. Dragon Tempest, if I have like 7 dragons, and then I have this one, now it does 8 damage to a creature, or I can select the player. And if I play another dragon, it does 9 damage to a creature or a player. And then you guys get the whole point of this one. Whenever opponent casts any spell, this thing gets +1/+1. I get 1 life. Scourge of FAQS. This one's just like the Dragon Tempest. Whenever this card comes on the battlefield, I make a treasure token. Or whenever a dragon comes in, I make a treasure token. This one, when this thing attacks or becomes targeted by a spell, I make a treasure token. It has haste, and I can sacrifice to add 2 mana instead of 1 mana now. Nicobolus, when this thing comes in, everyone discards a card. That's nuts. And I actually got this card when it was pretty cheap, so I'm happy. This is Scourge of the Throne. There's an additional combat phase. This one, when it deals damage to a player, it deals damage to each creature the player controls. So if you have like a bunch of 1/1s, this thing does 6 damage to you. Everything gets -6/-6 on your field. Basically OP. Atarka, whenever a dragon attacks, it gets double strike. A lot of people forget that Atarka has trample. So yeah, Terror of the Peaks. If you target this thing, they have to pay 3 life. And whenever a creature, any creature enters my battlefield, like I have this thing enters battlefield, this has 6 attack. I can use the 6 attack to deal damage to any target. Basically, when I play this, it has 6 attack. I can do 6 damage to an opponent creature or the opponent. Remoka, this is my only healing in this deck. This spell cannot be countered. It has flying and lifelink. An opponent cannot cast spells during my turn. Gnawbone, OP as hell, because whenever any creature I do damage to an opponent, I make that much treasure token. So if I do 50 damage to you, I make 50 tokens. Cavern Horde Dragon, this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest number of artifacts opponent control. Flying, trample, and haste. When it deals damage to an opponent, I make a treasure token for each artifact they have. Blade Wing, this is just when it comes in, it just revives another dragon from the graveyard. Also, the dragon creature gets +1/+1 is pretty good too. Hoarding Broodlord, so this thing has Convoke. It comes in the battlefield. I search my library for a card. Exile it face down. It's situational. It really depends on what's going on in the game. So red dragon, this one, deflecting palm dragon. This one, Scare Lord. Whenever dragon becomes target of spell ability, I can destroy a non-land permanent. When this thing attacks, I draw 2 cards. It doesn't matter if it had to do damage or not. Flying Menace Haste. This one is the Hellkite Tyrant. Flying Trample. When it deals damage to an opponent, I take control of all the artifacts they have. If I have 20 or more artifacts on my upkeep, I win the game. Yeah, it literally says you win the game. It's Exodia. Okay, This one, staple. When I play this, I play my commander for free. It has haste, but goes to the command zone at the end of the turn. Yeah, OP. Udvara Hellkite. Whenever a dragon attack, I put a 6/6 red dragon creature. Yeah, I can just swarm the field with more dragons and then ping my opponent with more damage. Whenever another non-token dragon enter the battlefield, I create a 5/5 red dragon. Yeah, it's crazy. Tiamat. When this thing enters the battlefield, if I cast it, I look for 5 dragon cards that are not named Tiamat. And then I have my 2 mana dorks, 3 mana dorks. Dark side, I make X treasure token, where X is the number of artifacts and enchantments my opponents have. Bloom Tender, for each color among permanents, add mana, 1 mana of that to each to my color, to my mana pool. Yoda Drick comes into play, exchange control, Zavala. So this is Kalia. The combo I do with Kalia usually is when Kalia attacks an opponent, it doesn't have to do damage. As long as it attacks, and I declare it attacking, I could put down a dragon from my hand onto the battlefield and also attacking the opponent too. So I'm putting down this guy because I can just draw a bunch of cards, get infinite hand size, or I can put down this guy and then just make a ton of dragons, or put down this guy and make a ton of treasure token. But then these elder dragons, they have to do damage. This is swords, exile. They get life. Tutor, not much to talk about. The tutor. Toxic Deluge. Pay X life. Everything gets -X. Farewell. I can choose 1 or more. Exile all artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and graveyards. Eerie Ultimatum. Return any number of permanent cards with different names. This is Commander. Everything only has like one card of each. So I'm just gonna just put down all the permanents. Destroy all non-land permanents your opponent's control. Insurrection. Untap all creatures and get control of them until the end of the turn, and they have haste. God, who the heck made this stuff? Last March of the Ends. This spell can be countered. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. So if I have Earth Dragon and I play this and I draw 10 cards and I put down any number of creatures I want. That's crazy, man. Crux of Fate. Destroy dragons or destroy non-dragons. Obviously, I'm gonna pick non-dragons. Kindred Dominance, choose the creature type, destroy all creatures, that's not the type. I choose dragons. Everything that's not a dragon that gets dead. This one, destroy all creatures you don't control and all planeswalkers you don't control. OP. I'm going down to 2 left. So this one is Majestic Genesis. I reveal X cards, where X is the greatest mana of a commander I have in the command zone. So if I have Earth Dragon command zone, Earth Dragon costs 9. That's his mana value. I reveal 9 cards. I put any number of permanents from among them onto the battlefield. This one's fun too. Zavala Stampede. I recently put this one in and it's working out a lot better for me. Starting with me, each player votes for a wild or free. Reveal cards from the top of my library until I reveal a creature for each wild vote. So if you vote wild, I reveal cards on top of my library until I get a creature. Doesn't matter how much it costs, I put it down. So if it's free, I put down a permanent, any permanent from my hand. I'll show this binder in another video. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek, okay? Ready? Guys, I just fucking editing this right now. I realized I don't have any lands in the video or my artifacts. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh crap, I forgot to show you my lands. Show you my lands real quick. So I have plane, 1 plane, 1 swamp, an island. Let me make it better for you guys. An island, another island, so 2 islands, 2 forests. Fucking put it out here. Okay, so 2 forests. Yo, it's fucking late, man. I gotta go to sleep, man. Fucking gotta be late for work tomorrow. 2 mountains, so 2 mountains, 2 forests, 2 islands, 1 plain, 1 swamp. I have Triome, Indata, Sagad, Ragran, Savai, and Ketria. So these are the yellow lands. I call them yellow lands because of like the yellow stripes. Cavern of Souls, Hero and Spirit Dragon, Command Tower, Past Ancestry, Exile Orchid, Forbidden Orchid. Crap, I gotta go sleep. Maze of Ith. These are utility lands. Ancient Tomb and Maze of Ith. They tap for shit as well. Yeah. I got Soul Ring. These are my artifacts. Fuck, I forgot to cover my artifacts. I have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Chromatic Lantern, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, and Grim Monolith. Taiga, Underground Sea, Scrubland, Bayou, Badlands, Volcanic Island, Plateau, Tundra, Tropical Island, and Savannah. And then I also run Sarkhan, my Planewalker, along with the Nicol Bolas. Anyways, bye guys.